Hey, I am Dr. Lisa Oliver, and this is Dr. Lisa Talks About. So today I am going to talk about death. Why am I talking about death? Because you know what? We're all going to die, and when death comes around, either by sudden or if it comes by as a result of a long illness, we all act as if that we never heard of the concept of death before. So I'm doing these videos so that we kind of understand what death is. And in this presentation, I want us to realize that a lot of us talk about death. We think about death just as the physical cessation of an individual. But if you think about it, death is all around us. And hopefully my presentation will show you how that happens. Okay, you ready? Okay, so here we are. Dr. Lisa talks about death. Now, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, death is a permanent cessation of all vital functions, the end of life. So in most cases, when we talk about death, most of us, it is when the heart stops beating, the blood stops flowing, and the brain no longer gets oxygen, and we're declared deceased. But I want to challenge y'all on that. If you think about it, death is all around us, and I'm going to give you some examples. If you think about it, death is the beginning of one thing, the end of one thing and the beginning of another. And I'm going to give you some examples. And here I'm talking about some life events that either all or some of us will experience. But I want you to think about death as, just a part of life, which is really what it is. First of all, let's talk about employment. So when you're employed, it's the end of being unemployed and you're not having any money, and it's the beginning of having some disposable income, having maybe a place to live, maybe having more freedom over what happens to you. So that's what employment is, between the end of and the beginning of. Let's talk about retirement. If you're able to retire, retirement is the end or the death of your working life. It is the end of being on a set schedule. And as a result of that death, retirement is now the beginning of your new existence, whatever that is. Maybe you want to get a second job, or I should say another type of job. But it's also, if you decide not to do anything, it's the beginning of not being on a set schedule. Let's talk about something else. Marriage. Marriage is, if you think about it, the death of you being alone. It's the death of bachelorhood. It's the end of bachelorettehood. But it's the beginning of living with someone and starting a life with someone. And let's talk about that opposite of marriage, which is divorce. Divorce is the end or the death of a union. But it's also the beginning of not having to consider someone else's perspective when making decisions. We can just go on and on with what So, those are just a couple of examples of death being the end of something and the beginning of something else. For example, I'm 55 years old. I'm going through menopause. That's the death of me being able to have children. But it's also the beginning of me not ever worrying about being pregnant. If you think about a child, you don't have to change a diaper anymore because the child is toilet trained. That's the death or the end of you having to change diapers, and the beginning of a child being more independent and can go to the bathroom on its own. So again, I just want you all to realize that, a lot of times we think about death as the physical end of someone's life, but we're around death all the time. Another thing I'm thinking about, like I always go and get flowers from Trader Joe's, right? Well, when we buy these flowers from Trader Joe's, the flowers are already dying because they've been cut from its source of nutrition. So essentially, we bring these dying flowers home. They're beautiful, but in a week, they're dead and we throw them out. The flowers died. So I just want you guys to, think about death as the end of life. But I think if we embrace the fact that everything has a beginning and has an end, and it's the death of. That concludes today's video of Dr. Lisa Talks About. Please subscribe. to my YouTube channel, Dr. Lisa Talks About. Please go to my website, www.drlisaoliver.com. There you'll find out about me, some of my background. You'll also find a blog I do, and you'll just find about death and dying in particular. I do death cafes. My death education series is really very informative, so please go to it. Also, if you want to email me and have me answer certain questions about death, dying, and bereavement, maybe how you should respond to a coworker who lost his or her pet, or whether or not you should go to the funeral, please email me, Lisa at drlisaoliver.com. That's all for now. Thanks for checking in. Bye-bye.